Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to another Costa Women Hangout with me, Fiona Catchpole. I know we've been missing on the front line for a couple of weeks now, but hopefully normal service will be resumed. My special guest today is a lady who's a fairly new Costa Women member, and I know she hasn't actually been able to get to one of the meetups yet, so I'll hopefully be able to convince her to get around to doing that very, very soon. But good afternoon, Emma.
Hi, Fiona.
How are you doing there? It's a bit warm today, isn't it?
It is so humid, yes.
Now, you have only recently joined Costa Women, and I did cajole you into doing it. I confess. But there's a reason for that, because I know you've lived on the Costa Sol on and off now for quite a few years, and I know the benefit that I've had of Costa Women. So tell me now, what's finally changed your mind about actually joining Costa Women firstly?
Well, I think really it's a networking group that I have always had an interest in, but unfortunately prior to this time, every company that I was actually working alongside of or with actually had an association with Costa Women, so I couldn't therefore go and touch on their toes. So really, now that I'm in the position where I'm working autonomo, I mean, it's a fantastic way of networking, not just in the local area, but throughout the entirety of Spain, which obviously my company does do, the entirety of Spain. So it just gives a fantastic avenue for that.
It certainly does. And of course we've got lots of other social events as well, because you don't always have to be in business to be part of Costa Women. There are sort of like non-business sides of it as well, so just for anybody watching this so that they know that. Now tell us a little bit about the company that you are working for now.
I work for a telecommunications company. This is going to sound really boring. Called 2020 Tel. They're unusual because they're an English-run company. Therefore, obviously, all the support and dealing with them is all in English. They do obviously take on Spanish clients as well, but they're based up in Costa Blanca, and I've ended up being their representative for the Costa del Sol. So I'm down here now promoting their mobile products, their services, and especially their business services, which is something that they're really focusing on at the minute.
And it's a low cost, really good service. You actually got me onto it as well, so I know that it's a really good network, and it's much cheaper. And the saving grace is the fact that it's actually a very well-run company. It's actually really easy to communicate with you instead of like with the likes of Vodafone, Orange, and Movistar and people like that.
Absolutely. And I mean, I don't know about many of the listeners, although I'm sure they're in the same boat as me. I mean, I've been over here since 2000, 2001. And even on short trips back to the UK, every time I return to Spain, it really aggravates me that we pay such a high price for such low quality services for our internet and for our mobile phones, etc. So the fact that I had a phone call myself, a sales call from 2020 till last summer, and they convinced me to try a unit for myself. When I found out that I was able to contact friends and family overseas, I was able to deal with anybody within Spain, and I wasn't penalised either way, was just great, because all the other companies seem to be, we'll keep your costs low in Spain, but if you phone overseas, we're going to bankrupt you. Or you can phone overseas, but if you call in Spain, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. So this just gave both worlds. So hence, tried the product, bought the product, liked it, and decided to sell it for myself.
That's cool. And I know that you've set up a page. I know Ali's helped you set something up on the Costa Women networking site, and people can go along and find out all the details about your service. And I know that when you do, I'm going to drag you along to some of the social events, because I know you're a little bit of shy and retiring, although people wouldn't believe that seeing you on camera now.
I am a little shy, yeah. But I definitely want to go and attend some of the local events to myself. That would be great. I actually know that there's one down the road from me in La Cala, which really I have no excuse not to attend other than the early morning.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you on that. Now, I know you've been in and out of Spain over years, but you've also been in business here, and as a woman, probably question sort of like out the left field here, I hadn't warned you about this one, but What have been your main challenges, do you think, as a woman in business here in Spain, and being English as well?
I think it really depends on the business you're in. If you're in a business, I mean, especially down here with reference to bars, I mean, I owned a rentals agency, video shop, etc., quite a few years ago down here, and so I was mainly dealing with English-speaking suppliers, who really, I don't believe, treated that much differently. But as soon as I actually moved into a situation where I was dealing with Spanish suppliers, I did find that the attitude of the men who worked for those businesses wasn't necessarily what I would expect being a British businesswoman. However, I mean, I found after some time, and especially being able to speak the language helped me a lot. And I found I settled in quite well. But you still get them no matter where you are. You still get people who treat you differently, quite simply because you're female.
Yeah. And what would be your one piece of advice to somebody looking to move over here or set up a business here, particularly for a lady?
Well, first and foremost, I find, as most women do, I need to be comfortable. So if you're looking to move over here as a woman going into business, first and foremost, make sure that where you choose to live and where you choose to settle is somewhere where you're going to be comfortable. Business-wise, you've got the internet at your hand, and really you need to investigate a lot before you invest in any business, no matter where you are in the world. You know, through the power of social media and through networking groups like these, where people can actually give hand-on advice of situations that they've got into. You need to investigate thoroughly. There's too many businesses still that are being set up and closed in such a short space of time, and I think solely it's down to preparation. I know money is a key factor, obviously, but preparation is the main thing, and you need to be prepared.
So, like doing your research and making sure that you've got all the variables covered.
Yeah, making sure that there's a customer base there who actually wants you.
And then a lot of people, you've got a good telephone service as well. And making sure you have a good telephone service, which is something that you will be able to be talking to the customer later a little bit more about in the future.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean that fits in with being comfortable, because you're not going to be comfortable if you're unable to stay in contact with your friends and your family back home. And being able to do that regularly without fear of massive telephone bills or internet bills is also a great help.
Yeah. And then one more key thing about the 2020 tell, yeah, I got that right. And then we'll say goodbye. Is that it's the landline facility as well, isn't it? It's like you can put a landline number on. Just tell everybody about that, because that's the bit I found most interesting. That you can then sort of almost have like two lines on your one mobile phone at very little cost extra.
Well, I mean, in actual fact, Fiona, you can have as many lines as you like running through one mobile phone. I mean, in an essence, if I explain the key product, over here, obviously, most people who have a landline, it's due to the fact that they have Telefonica, so they have a fixed line coming into their home business, which they pay a line rental for, the same as we all do to BT in the UK. What 2020 Tel have is it's an exclusive product, so it's a product they've developed themselves, whereby you can be assigned a landline number. It doesn't need to be Spanish. I mean, it can be English if you want, or American, wherever it is you choose your landline to be. But for example, with yourself and me, we're local businesses, so you can have a 951 number assigned to you, which automatically diverts through to your mobile, and actually acknowledges that call is coming in that way. So what I like about it is I have one phone, but I know that it's a business call coming in from my landline number, so I can automatically put on my phone voice as opposed to my "hello mate, how you doing" voice. And I mean that is amazing.
Good afternoon, how may I help you? That one.
Yes. Who's that? So I mean the main advantage really, not only for yourself, is that you have a landline number which makes your business look more fixed or more professional. But also then your clients or your friends or however you wish to use your landline number can actually call you at a local rate number. So they're not even calling a mobile. And we do that service, and it's inclusive of all the diverts. So even if you're on holiday somewhere else in the world, we'll divert it to you. It's not an issue.
Yeah, and the good thing, I know that obviously in the UK they have much better packages and things like that running from landlines, but there is a lot of the packages now where, for example, if you're in Birmingham or wherever and you have a landline in the UK, you can phone a Spanish landline for free, included in the package. So your friends and family in the UK can call you, and it doesn't cost them anything if they're phoning a 951 number.
Yeah, absolutely. Or, I mean, if someone just actually wants to use it solely for their friends and family and not as a business line, they can have themselves set up with any national number in the UK. So they can have an 0208 number, they can have a 161 number, and then their friends and family, as you say, could call them at a local rate whenever they wanted to anyway. And on the plus side, obviously, with 2020 Tel, their inclusive minutes mean that they can phone their family at any point at no extra cost on a mobile or a landline. So,
well, I think there's lots to cover, isn't there, really? And we're going to
really need to go on the page.
And we're going to put all the information underneath because it's really quite a novel product from a telecommunications perspective, and I'm quite sure you'll be getting lots of phone calls. We'll have to make sure we put the right number underneath the video. But for now, thanks ever so much for conquering the technology, putting up with the humidity, and I'll let you go and jump in the pool now.
Thank you ever so much. I will do that.
All right. Thanks, Emma. I'll see you at Costa Women too.
Cheers. Bye.
Okay. Bye.